Costly mistakes for the Montreal Canadiens have certainly been a big part of the story in this Stanley Cup final as we take a look at the total ice time for individual players during this postseason. Nobody has played more than Victor Hedman, but you'll notice three, not one, not two, but three Habs defensemen are on this list. When you look at the turnovers and the bad changes and some of the things, the poor decisions that we've seen on the back end from some of these guys in this series, do you think fatigue is starting to play a role for the Montreal Canadiens? Yes or no?
Yes, I do. And Jeff Petrie would be on there if he wouldn't have missed a couple games.
Exactly.
He plays enough per game. And while there is a lot more rest involved in the playoffs, and they did sweep Winnipeg, so they had a few days there, I just think the mental as much physical strain of having to be so good so often for so long, it's tough. And these players are good. They're very good players, but they're not Victor Hedman. Like, they're not the best in the world right now. They're good, solid NHL players, but you ask anyone to play 25 minutes of almost mistake-free hockey against a really good team, and anyone's going to make mistakes, let alone guys who probably aren't quite at that level. And you think about the players who play on defense, those big four. Which of them would be considered a really good, effortless skater? Jeff Petrie, for sure. Ben Sherratt's a good, decent skater. Edmondson, he's average. Shea Weber, he's average at this point. So they have to work. So you think about the physical toll of playing all those minutes. Some guys glide around the ice effortlessly.
It comes easier to
Victor
some
Hedman.
than others.
So just being on the ice and moving just doesn't take as much out of Victor Hedman as it does Shea Weber. That's the reality of how they skate. And so when you're chugging and working to get to where you have to go, taxes you physically, you get a little tired mentally, and all of a sudden a clean decision like whether to step up in the neutral zone by Ben Sherratt is made incorrectly, or reversed by Joel Edmondson is made incorrectly. These kind of things happen as they start piling up. So I do believe that there is probably some mental, some physical fatigue because they've been asked to do so much. You have to respect how much they've played.
Oh,
they're playing four defensemen. You see their Merrill and Gustafson, they'll get 4 minutes a game, 8 minutes a game, 10 minutes a game, and these guys have to do everything else in every other situation. So it's a lot, but 2 days between games, no excuses for Game 4. Everyone should be well rested, have their legs, and have their minds just right.
Petrie as well, dealing with an injury. When it comes to the bottom two defensemen for the Montreal Canadiens, do you think maybe there should be a change there?
Yes, I do.
You do? What and why?
I think John Merrill is a very good defensive defenseman, good at protecting leads. They haven't had a lead worth protecting. So let's get a guy in there that might help them get a lead. Then we'll worry about protecting it once we have one. And that means Romanov can probably go in, or Brett Kulak. Either one of them. I think they probably lost a little bit of confidence in both of them. But if it's me, I put Romanov in there, someone who can help pass the puck out of the defensive zone. It's an area where Montreal struggled in this series, and to get a guy in there who's better than that, than John Merrill, I think is a move I would make.
Well, they're on the ropes, season on the line. Dom Ducharme and his staff have 2 days, not one, two, to decide what their roster will look like in game number 4.